Okay, everyone, I'm back at it again. I'm just going to show you what that storm with the hail did to the top of my trailer. I don't know if you can see the AC, but it has all holes in it. There's some holes on top of this trailer, but that's part of it. And also, I was having problems with my internet and still having problems with it. If you could see this, there's some dents here. I don't know if you can see the right there. It's cracked, and there's a couple of cracks up here from the Starlink. Other than that, it wasn't as bad as I thought, besides the plants and everything. Oh, it did make a hole on top of the one of my totes. I'll show you that right now. And here it is. You can see the hole right there, right here. Just blew a hole. That's how hard that hit. Now up here, I don't think anything happened. It was all metal. And that's the catchment. I put all that to hold the wind from blowing everything. And it held up well. And what I'm going to do now, I'm clearing everything up that you see here. I finished this side of the fence. I just have to attach this fence and then run it all the way across this way and leave an opening. And then I'll start putting T-posts up so I could expand the place for the chickens. Now on the other side where the goat is, I started removing, let me see if you can see it. I started removing a lot of the pallets. I put the pallets on this side, and that's what I'm going to do now, is continue removing these pallets. Once the pallets are done, what I'm doing is trying to fix this corner, and I'm going to fix this corner right here, right there, that opening that I opened so I can get in and out. Once that's completed, then I will start working on the little shelter for my goats. Hopefully I could get that done today. It's going to get hot. The temperatures are going up. This week is supposed to go over 107. When they say 107 where I'm located, I figure about 112, 113 degrees. So that's the way it is, because we're in the valley. Not much wind, and then when we do get wind, it picks up speed over 9 point. Once I start working on this, I will work on it while the goats are in this area. The only problem I have is that I have to get more T-post hooks. I just don't want to use the regular wire that I normally do and that I twist. I might today let them in, see how they react to this area, and I'm going to take that fence that's behind where those wooden posts are. I'm going to take it out so they can gravitate and come on this side. And possibly, if I can't finish this part, I'm going to put the fence, another piece of fence, if I have enough, to separate the males from the females. All the way from that corner right here of where the goats are, and then all the way to the end right by the T-post on the other side. And I'm going to put the gate, which is this gate right here, there, so I can get through and fix them up on my side here. So that's the plan. It might change again. Once this is cleared out, I'm going to move it all the way to the back. The trailer is going to be moved out. That trailer is going to be moved out. So that's basically all the damage. Oh, and the solar panel flipped over. Didn't break it, but I have to take it off anyway to move the trailer. So it's it helped me out in greatly. So it's coming along. It's coming along fine. It's going to rain today. Said later on, maybe by 6 o'clock in the evening. And you know, as it goes here, is the predictions from the weather report says 40–50%. Here it is totally different. Maybe over the mountains, because since I'm in the valley and the mountains are further away, all the west mountains are all the way out there. So this is a whole open area. When you go to your south, they might get rain more often. I don't, because all the winds are confined to the mountainous area, and because they're higher altitude than this place, the winds are blowing from the top. So hope you understand the logic behind it, and that's why you have to keep an eye out for the clouds, to where the wind's blowing. It already this morning got real cloudy, and it passed right by me and got to 9 Point, and it was drizzling just a little bit. The skies are cloudy, and if you see those clouds up there, they're starting to form all the way around. And then here, right there, is where you see accumulation, and that's going to intensify in a while, and the wind's blowing from that way, so it's coming this way. Hopefully you can see the way it almost like, it's not funneling, but it's like rain. It seems like rain or darker clouds are down in the bottom by Red Bluff and the middle out there. All those mountains are in one circle. So if the wind blows harder, it'll come this way. It'll meet up with the heat on my land, and let's see what happens. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and check out the membership. Join the membership. I would appreciate it, the sharing and the get my numbers up a little bit. You take it one day at a time and keep moving forward. You can't change what you see out of your eyes, but you can change how you handle things. And this last storm we had was one of the worst. I think in 2019 we had one that was even worse. It blew metal, it blew twisted metal, it lifted a lot of the anchored places right off the ground. So it was massive. This is, I think, the second. I wasn't here for 2019, but everybody explains it, and I've seen the devastation that storm took. The winds were higher, up in the 80s, 90s. Here, I think it was about 60, 65. So once it starts climbing up over 60, then you have something to worry about. And hopefully all my structures will be secured so they don't fly off. And I keep everything low to the ground, flat airflow from the bottom. So if it blows from the bottom, it'll just go right through and not lift it up. Make sure there's openings to go up. I've been very lucky by the way I designed the place here. Uh, I try to aim everything and concentrate all my belongings in one small spot. The smaller the spot, even though I have to keep taking it off to get to what I want, the heavier stuff is in the outside and the lighter stuff is in the inside of that little square or circle, however big I have it. Nothing here. And all the stuff that I have accumulated there, you can see all the steel is on the outside. All the heavy stuff is on the outside. The light stuff is in the inside. Nothing blew away. So I was lucky. Not that I'm smart, but uh, smart about the desert is just that I feel things, and the water, the way I look at things is totally different. Uh, the way the water flows, I didn't get a lot of flooding. I couldn't help the hail, so that's what happens. You just have to think about things and plan what your heart says. Ask questions, learn from other people, because what I do here might not work for you. And that's the reason why I say it's working for me. I know I get advice from people, well, you should do this and you should do that. I understand. That's how you would do it. I can't do it here. Some things I can do. So just be aware and take some of the advice that I'm trying to convey to you, to teach you, in case you buy land in an area like this that's flat, that's a real valley. Sometimes you can't help it. It's going to happen anyway. But you give yourself a better chance of survival, protection of the high winds, because this is relentless sometimes here. The winds are high, the rain is pouring, the thunder hits the ground in close areas. You have to be aware of your surroundings and what's around, that if the wind blows it, it's not blowing through your house. Because they say go to the lowest point of your house if there's high winds, but your house is anchored in dirt, sand. This is soft. I have to dig all the way down and put a heavy piece, and not have the cement. If I'm going to put wood, I have to have cement, and I have to have T-posts. So if I'm building up made out of wood, I've got to protect that wood so it doesn't dry out. There's a process that you have to do. You might just see the pallets, but I really have to get to it. This year seems like it's going to be raining, and the heat's going to be climbing a lot. So I have to protect the outside. I have to protect the outside of the dog pen. I've got to move the chickens, give them a place where they could hide and not be worried about, but they also have space when it dies down, they can go out. In the wintertime, it's totally opposite. The wind usually comes and the cold comes from the north. It freezes up here. So you have to set up your solar perfectly. I'm going to try to put on my solar panels, my solar right now on the cabin, it sits like this. I'm going to put, what do you call it, on the sides. This is the top, and it's facing down towards the southwest slightly. And in the summertime, the sun comes right over it. So my problem is, in the summertime, I don't get that much sun because it's over down here. I start getting it when it's at another angle. You get most of the energy from the sun when it's right above it. Then when it starts dipping down, you don't get enough power to charge up those solar panels. So I'm going to put on this side a little shade coming down to catch the winter and the summer sun, because it'll be going from the south. Sun right now comes from that angle, but you don't see it in the sky here. You don't see it in the sky here until it gets right there, right where that mesquite tree is. That's where it goes, and then it climbs up over. That's why I get my solar. That's why it's set up the way it is. I'm moving everything over and trying to adjust for the summer and the winter. I know they sell these brackets and these things that you could put your solar panels on that'll track the sun so you get all the power, but that's costly. So you can work it as best as you can. You're going to pay a price for anything that happens out here. Either you pay for more solar, more batteries. If you want to live convenient, with the power that you don't have to worry about it, you have to have a large battery bank that when it gets cloudy and you don't get that sun to charge up your batteries, you have enough storage in those batteries to carry you on for at least a week. That's a big battery bank. That's a lot of amp hours. So just put that in your mind. Do your research. Ask people. I don't work with solar. I understand the principles behind it. But when it comes to the solar and people that work with metal, I could do a little bit of welding. I don't trust my welding, so I don't even touch it. Solar, I know the principles, but at the same time, I don't want to burn my house down, or if I help somebody else burn their house down if I made a wrong connection. I will work with somebody so I could keep learning and learning and learning. Once I get to learn, then I move forward and I'll be able to do everything myself. The vocabulary with the ohms, the voltage, the wattage, and how to hook up from inverter to your batteries, the size wire, all that comes into play to make it more efficient. If you don't get to use it, you don't use the right connections, that also plays into getting your stuff. If you don't protect it from the winds and something goes wrong that you're not getting power, like I wasn't getting power, it was a little piece of wire from the connectors that just slightly, you couldn't see it. So you have to check all your connections all over again, because then you're not doing anything. You can't charge the batteries, you can't run anything, so you got to keep on top of it. You got to go out in that rain. You got to go in there and make sure that it's working. If you want to stay comfortable and alive, you need radio, you need whatever you need that might be for emergency during a storm. You need to get that done. That's priority. That's how you take it. And T-Mobile is the first. I have T-Mobile and it's not being sponsored or anything, but because of the location here, they're the first that has satellite phone on my telephone. So that means when I have my Wi-Fi and I could get 1 bar or whatever, I could send a 911 call emergency services myself through my phone. Here, if you don't have your Wi-Fi, you can't do it. You got to figure out a way somebody can get you help, or you use your Beifeng radio and say, I'm in trouble, I'm injured or whatever it is. I need an ambulance here. There's got to be other ways to get help to you here. You're here alone. You depend on yourself. And if you're lucky enough to have people that help you close by, that's another help. Extend your hand. I check up on people, just, I go in almost not in a panic mode, but, I go into a nursing mode. Make sure everybody's okay, because Without this gorgeous body of mine, I can't do and I can't be moving forward. So I have to take care of me. I have to take care of the body, whether it be minimal or be a lot. That's why I keep myself hydrated. Trust me, I do. That's the first thing. I drink water at night, drink water in the daytime, and drink water throughout the day. And when it gets too hot and I start, withering down, I go and get into the shade. I don't have AC, so I have to deal with the heat or the sun. When you're out in the sun, it's hot. It's hotter than just the heat itself. Um, the humidity plays a part in it. Well, again, thank you for watching. Uh, bless you all and keep watching.